The Time Machine is a science fiction book written by H.G. Wells in the year of 1895. The setting is London 1895 and AD 800 2700. H.G. Wells was born in London in the year of 1866 and died in the year of 1946. He was a science fiction book author. The most famous and important book is The Time Machine. Also, he worked as a book reviewer in the Saturday Review for many years. He studied biology at the Normal School of Science in London. The book is about a man who travels in time and visits a futuristic spacetime. When he arrives there, he loses his time machine. In his time there, he explores the creatures and the planet. The themes are time travel, Earth evolution, and futuristic. The main characters are the time traveler, the narrator, Eloy, Morlocks, and we. In this text, we can see how the tone is a scientific tone. So I travel stopping ever and again in great strides of 1,000 years or more, down on by the mystery of the Earth's fate. Watching with a strange fascination the sun grow larger and duller in the westward sky, and the life of the old Earth ebb away. Page 130. The first literary device is personification. His glance flickered over our faces with a certain dull approval. In this text, the author is referring to the glance like if it was alive. The second literary device is hyperbole. The time traveler came to the place reserved for him without a word. Without a word, it's kind of an exaggeration, and the meaning of without a word is that the time traveler didn't talk. The last literary device is metaphor. The rocks about me were of a horseradish color. The author is comparing the rocks with a horseradish. The first literary device is found in the page 20, the second in the 23, and the last one in the 135. Like the title says, the symbol is a time machine, because the time machine is always mentioned in the book and becomes something indispensable for the time traveler. The time machine becomes a problem and at the same time a solution for the time traveler. Also, because the time machine got lost, the time traveler could explore that place. Plot. The first part is the exposition when the time traveler is at dinner with different people. In the dinner, he shows all the inventions that he has created, including the time machine. Racing action. The time traveler pulls the lever of the time machine and visits the future. He stops in the year of 8,207,001. When he arrives there, he notices that all the creatures are equal. The creatures are very friendly and offer him fruit. These creatures are called Eloy. Then he loses his time machine, and searching it, he finds out that there are other creatures called Morlocks living underground. Then he finds out an Eloy drying and he saves her. This Eloy is called Win. Climax. The Morlocks chase Weena and the time traveler because they ate Eloy at midnight. They found an old museum to hide called the Palace of Green Porcelain. There they found some matches and a lever. Then the time traveler accidentally starts a fire in the woods and Weena and many Morlocks died. Folding action. The time traveler escaped from Morlocks. He opens a pedestal of the statue that he left the time machine and he finds it. He goes quickly into the future and stopped on a beach and got attacked by a giant crab. Then he goes many millions of years into the future. The sun is very red and big. The only sign of life is a black lump with tentacles. Resolution. The time traveler comes back to the present and then goes back to travel and never comes back. One of the messages of the book is how bad it can go a capitalist system in a country. In the novel, Morlocks live underground and Eloy overground. These are representation of rich and poor class, especially in meaningful quotes. There is no difference between the time and any of the three dimensions of space except that our conscious moves along it. Page 3. This phrase is very controversial because it involves the less studied science mind in the other less studied science space. Second meaningful quote. Very simple was my explanation, and plausible enough, as many wrong theories are. Page 49. This phrase is genius because any theories are proved and 100% truth, but what really matters is to give the step of proposing a theory. I like a lot this book because not only has a great plot with exciting and fun parts, it also has many messages that criticize capitalism. Something amazing about the book is that the author criticized his own city, London, represented on an extreme way by Eloy and Murdochs. Also, the author presents a pessimistic scenario of the Earth in the future. I recommend this book a lot to adults and teenagers since it's a deep and fun book.